December 24th, Christmas Eve, sometime after 3 o'clock. We think we have it narrowed down to somewhere between 3 and 6 o'clock. The sprinkler system broke back in the kitchen area of the cafeteria. And so the issue was, because it was Christmas Eve and it was later that evening, nobody was at the school when the first line broke. The domestic water line coming into the school also broke at a different location later on. But so when that sprinkler system broke, the ceiling tiles in there became so saturated that they started collapsing back into the kitchen, which then clogged the drains. And it was discovered around 11 o'clock Christmas Day by Mr. Schum, our facilities manager, basically. And then he notified me, and then from there, maintenance teams from every school in North Spencer, volunteers, some of their spouses, even our school board, all met at Lincoln Trail, worked at least somewhere between 8 to 12 hours on Christmas Day, just pushing water out of the building.
Wow. Thanks
to their quick actions, that ended up saving all of the flooring in the classrooms themselves. All the water, they started in the classrooms, getting the water out of the classrooms into the hallway. The carpet in the hallway and up in the office suite all had to come out. And so, but it could have been much worse.
Yeah, I believe it was January 30th that we were notified absolutely can't get back in the buildings, and we needed to make internet work at the Methodist Church and also Heritage Hills Baptist Church. So that was on Friday, and PSC office was closed for the holiday, New Year's holiday. So when I called the office, no one answered. I happened to know Darren Brown, and so I had his number and I called him directly. And actually I just left him a text and said, call me, because I knew it's holiday for him. But he called me back within a matter of minutes. And I explained to him what was going on, that we needed internet services at both churches. And he said he wasn't sure, just off the top of his head, how much broadband each church had. So he was going to check and get back with me. And it was a matter of minutes, and he had called me back, and he had upped both bandwidth at both churches to gig down, 500 up, which was plenty. He just wanted to make sure there was no issue, and so we appreciated that. So then we knew, okay, if we can make it happen on our end, we knew PSC, was going to be able to handle this for us. So the other option that we had to think about here was there was not enough access points in either church. So we had access points at Lincoln Trail. So we had to completely reset, refigure those off of our controller, and we basically, our IT department had to set up 2 separate servers, one for each church. So we did that, we reprogrammed the APs. Then we realized, like on January 2nd, that Heritage Hills Baptist, their router wouldn't hold, wasn't big enough for the gig, which was not a problem because we set up our own server, but we needed a port for that. So again, I called Darren, again, office hours. Nobody was in because it was a New Year holiday. So I called Darren directly, and he did a great job. He contacted Jeremy, and again, I'd say maybe within 15 minutes, Jeremy had that port ready to go. He contacted our IT guys directly and said the port is ready. So we went from there and spent the rest of that day connecting APs and running wire through the building, through Heritage Hills Baptist Church. And we got all of that set up and configured. So we were ready to go on the 4th, and teachers were able to come back and start instructing right away.
But our teachers obviously use Wi-Fi, use our internet connection literally every single day. Almost every one of our kids, we're a one-to-one school, so all of our kids have devices, and our teachers just rely on that to teach. So one of the first concerns that we had in moving into the churches was, are we going to be able to, is the church's Wi-Fi going to be able to handle 200 kids and 20 teachers hitting that at the same time? And so our IT team with North Spencer kind of took the lead on that, and jumped on board with that, and talking with the IT people at both churches, because we knew that our teachers and kids, quite frankly, were going to require and need that technology to be working. Thanks to our North Spencer IT department and PSC, we were able to have enough bandwidth that we could bring all of our devices. And so my teachers, when they went back to Lincoln Trail, when they discovered that, grabbed the rest of their devices, and most of them have all of them at both sites.
Honestly, we can't be more happy with PSC, because we know that had we had a bigger internet provider in our area that we had to rely on, this wouldn't have happened as quickly. Darren was very good about telling me specifically to call his workers, and some of them, like Brett Beard, I already have in my contact, so I knew I could call him directly, and Darren had talked to Brett. Brett said, have her reach out to me if we needed anything, and he'd make sure to take care of it. But we realized that having a local provider was essential to us, and without that, I don't think we would have been ready to go as quickly as we were.
On behalf of everybody at Lincoln Trail, we just want to say thank you to PSC, thank you to all the North Spencer, the other schools. Their teachers have come over and helped our teachers open their buildings up for our teachers to use, and really, especially the Santa Claus United Methodist Church. As you can see behind me, the sign, there's one at the Baptist Church as well, welcoming all of our staff and students, and nothing at the churches has been off limits for our staff and our kids. So we just want to say thank you to all of the North Spencer community for supporting our staff and letting our kids get back in school on time.